Good evening, Nick the Forester here. Doing a little video this tonight. Not finished on the 510. I about got it all finished boarded. I'm letting one parts that ran through the part washer dry. They're still pretty wet right now, so I was gonna let them dry out. Would show you all the porting. Like I said, mainly just a little bit of transfer work. Raised the exhaust about 10 thousandths, so it should be maybe a degree, maybe two. So nothing radical on that saw. Till I end up, I really just didn't feel like putting a timing wheel on it. I have on a few saws, but I didn't feel the need on that one. But today's video, since it's just a short one while I'm waiting for them parts to dry, we're working on big old Mac. This is a 1-72 87cc removable head. It had a Town and Country muffler on it, but it rusted out, so it's now got a muffler off like a 250 on it. Good saw, typically good running. Got it, it was not running, had a good spark. It's got pretty decent compression. It's nothing great. That's why I want to end up putting this 740 engine in. I'd like to redo that saw and then end up trying to put it in here, in this body. But today I'm gonna show y'all what I had to do. As y'all saw in that other video you might have seen, this one didn't want to run for us. It hadn't been cranked up since probably November, I believe. It's about the last time I started up. I'll pull the carb off it, see if it's got some gunk in it. And I'll show y'all what was involved in putting a stihl 090 carb, Tilton 321, I believe it was, off like a stihl 070 090 on one of these Big Macs. And I did delete the governor. Honestly, I just have it zip tied back right now to the coil, or part of the coil. So it is ungoverned. I had it set about maybe 10.5, so it might have been a little on the high side. One tool I did pick up that would be very beneficial working on any of these top tank Big Macs is a angled 7/16. I did this with a straight 7/16 that you get at your local parts house, or and let me tell you, it's a booger. So pick you up one of these, and I'll show y'all what I did as far as fuel line on this one, and we'll see what oh, also first iteration I did not make the choke work. I did not make that linkage work, but this go around, I will be making where the choke works and is spring loaded again like the original carb. But let's get into it. I probably picked this all up 4 or 5 years ago. Honestly, I haven't done much to it. Depending on how long this video goes, I may end up, I've got a 3/8, I've actually never thrown a bar on this. I've got a 3/8 by 8 tooth sprocket. This is a rim sprocket saw, or at least this one is. I may end up putting that on in this video. We'll just see how long it goes for. Take a brace off here. Now, try to get you a little bit better view on it. Sorry, I'm still trying to work on how to work on these where I can see them and where it's got a good camera view on for y'all. So, take that off. There's, I said, stihl 090 carb, or 070 090. It's a clone carb. It's a Chinese clone carb. That's what it is. I'll show you what I all had to do to get it to fit. But yeah, honestly, it's a pretty direct fit for the most part. Let's go ahead and start getting this carb off. Pull you up and out. Choke saw, or throttles off, sorry. Find my 5/16. Do I have it up here? I think 11 works too, yeah. And I'll show y'all. I think I showed it in the other video, but I save all my old gaskets. Reason for that is I cut my own gaskets. I very rarely buy any if I can make my own. Now I'll show you how I make my own. It's nothing difficult. Can be a little time consuming, but it's all depending on what y'all determine as time consuming. I mean, I'll spend an hour or two out here cutting the gasket if I need to. If it's gonna take too long to come in for a saw or it's unavailable. Like for some of these older Macs, some of these gaskets aren't unavailable. So typically for these big ones, I'll make my own. I think that should be enough to get her on off. If she's not stuck, let's see. Yeah, she may be a little on the stuck side. There we go. And you don't have to pull these all the way off. I made that mistake before. I give it just a little bit more. This thing's been, like I said, this car's been on here since November. It has had, or actually probably sometime back August or October. It's probably when I put this on here. I still could shave this one down just a touch, just to get in on this side a little bit easier, but for the most part, it's not too bad. Get you to stay out of the way. Thing's always a booger to get on and off. You have to kind of play with them a little bit. They're cantankerous old saws, for them, to say the least. Go ahead and pop this fuel line off. There we go. Ooh, man, duck. Yeah, it's probably gonna fill the box. That's okay. We'll dump it out anyways. I believe we got a good seal on that sucker. And I'll show y'all what I use for gasket material if you want me to. It's nothing fancy by any means. I mean, hell, most y'all probably got in your pantry now. Just work it back up, back and forth. It'll come off eventually. This one just a wee bit on the stuck side. Bend that a little bit further out the way. Out the way there. Come on now. Seems like that side is good, but this side over here, this one's very difficult with us. Now I have a feeling it's the daggum gasket. This is typically why I'm going to end up having to make another gasket for this guy. It just ripped right off there. Yeah, she was stuck. She's stuck like glue. Let's go ahead and get her all the way off here. That's a shame. That was a dang good gasket too. I cut a good one off of that one. I'll have to find where the old one is. Make another one. If not, I'll have to make one by hand, which ain't hard. It's a little more time consuming. So that's about all she wrote on that. I'm gonna pause the video for a second and then scrape the rest of this gasket material off, and then I'll get back to you. Alright, we're back at it. Sorry y'all, I had to cut that gasket off. So, for this saw, or to get this carb on that saw, I mean, really, all you gotta do is drill another hole for your throttle linkage, and then I'm not sure if I'll have enough room to drill on this one for the throttle link, or for the choke linkage. So I may end up doing, I haven't decided yet. Just noticed that does not open all the way. Only opened up about 3/4. Huh. That was the stock iteration of it, if I remember right. This is, no, she done shifted on us a little bit. I'll have to work that out. What I'll probably end up doing is taking either a zip tie and zip tying the choke linkage, or taking some baling wire and wrapping it, because all it's got to do is push it forward like that and then pull it back, and that's all. But I'll try to see about drilling. I may be able to, no, I won't be able to turn that upside down, because then it won't work right. So I'm gonna pause y'all for a second, and I'll show y'all after I figure out what I want to do with the choke. Then I'll bring y'all back and show you about how I cut out gaskets and whatnot for these saws. I'll see y'all in just a minute. Hey guys, I'm back. Sorry about the long delay there. It was just a second for y'all, but it's probably 45 minutes for me. Getting that choke to work and to stay open without hitting the plunger took a little bit of time and a little fiddling with a spring, but I'll show y'all that in just a minute. I wanted to show y'all how I cut out my own gaskets. Here's stock gasket came off that saw. See, I mean, it could be reused, a little bit of grease, but like I said, I like to keep these for templates. So what I do, see if you can see me. I'm gonna get that anyway. It's empty anyways. Y'all know what this is. It's just your everyday typical cardboard box. I keep, hey, I'll show you, I keep Dr. Pepper boxes, cereal boxes. That's why I said it's probably in your, what's it called right now? In your pantry right now. I mean, it's simple stuff. All you do, set it on there, trace out your inside first, trace out your outside. And it ain't gotta be perfect. But I mean, the better you get it, the better sealing it'll do, but it can be a little big, it ain't gonna hurt it none. And then, see where is it on this saw? It's on the bottom right. So typically what I do, say we'll make this one the bottom right there. Alright, you got your simper for your gasket. Oh, sorry about that. Reset that for 1 second. Don't forget your bolt holes neither. But those are a little less important. You can typically get them after the fact, but to try to get you a rough estimate. So, put my old gasket up. And now you see, y'all, I hope you can see. Let's see if I can get you up. There's a new gasket we're gonna pop right there. Just gonna cut it out with ain't nothing but a razor blade. Typically I start in the middle. Just take your time. You can get better ways of cutting this. I've just found the easiest for me. It's a razor blade and going fairly slow. And then I'll show you what to do with the bolt holes and whatnot. There you go. Metal's out of there. Another reason I like using these boxes is this, oh heck, I don't even know what you'd call it. This side, it's I forget the word for it now, but it's actually really good at sealing. It's really good at filling imperfections. It'll come to me in a little bit, but alright, then we're gonna work on the outsides, and I'll show you how I cut the impulse and the bolt holes just a moment. I said it ain't gotta be perfect. I'm probably gonna make it a little bigger on the outside just so we get good sealing. You can make it perfect. I know many folks that have said it ain't gotta be perfect by no means. It should about do it. There we go. Like I said, ain't perfect by no means. I mean, I could trim it off, make it look a little bit better, but should seal up just fine. Alright, let me throw this back out of the way. Let me go find my leather punch. And that's how we, at least that's how I punch out the outsides. Ooh. I'm so disorganized right now, guys. I've got parts laying everywhere, saws laying everywhere. I really need to just take a day and clean house again. So, all it is, leather punch. Figure out what size hole you need. This one, I'm doing the smallest one with the impulse. Just line it up. Pop her on through. May do it 1 or 2 times. I do it 2 or 3 times. Then I turn around, should get it. There you go. Impulse is cut. Then for the bolt holes, I'll go up to probably about the biggest one I got. That's still gonna be on the small end, but I said just work it around. Same with the other side. Work it back around. There you go. There's your gasket right there. Seal up just fine. This time I'm probably gonna use a little grease on this guy since last time I didn't do it. Actually, if you're good, just what I'll probably end up doing is I'll snag a little, oversize these bolt holes just a touch. That way you can get them in there. Do this side just touch all the way around. There we go. There's the gasket. It's not laminated. Can't remember what word I'm trying to think of for this side. But y'all see what I understand. It's like a not a film, not a vinyl. I can't think of what it is right now. But it's very good at sealing imperfections. So what I come up with as far as the choke. Let me set the saw back up here, get this stuff out of my way. Set the saw back up. Grab my carb. So for the choke, ended up drilling, I don't know if you can see that, 3 holes. I tried way up front first. That didn't give me enough throw on my arm to completely choke it. Tried all the way in the back, right there. That one wouldn't come back fully open. So I tried right there in the middle. Middle was about perfect. Like I said, it's just trial and error, that's all I'm doing. I took the old spring off the old carb right there and worked it where, so when I put the choke arm on and push it down, this middle hole, it's going to flip this up and choke it. And then when it's not, it's going to open it. Just like that. When you buy this carb, it will not have that spring. You'll have to source that spring from somewhere else. I got it off the old Tillotson carb. The only other thing you got to do to put this carb on, that's all, is swap out the stihl carb or clone carb, whichever you're using, as a deeper bottom half. I don't know on these big carbs what you call them, because they're pump and diaphragm side, but you gotta put the low profile off a Tillotson on it. The low profile Tillotson bottom with the fuel nipple. But I might have to end up taking these all the way off. Oh man, what I done do with I got all swapped around now. Where's my side wrench at? I would just buy it and lose it, wouldn't I, guys? But like I said, it fought me for probably 45 minutes, so I'm a little bit out of sorts right now. I'm not sure if I'll get to the clutch this video or not. Probably not, but we will see. I'm probably going to drill those out because those just aggravate me. Another thing these steel carbs come with is like an insert for the bolts, plastic insert. And last time you'll see it right there. It's just a plastic insert. Last time I just screwed it in. This time I may. And they do come in and out. I may just drill it out just a little bit around the sides. Just so these slide in and out. It is a little bit aggravating. And if you have any of these saws or looking to get any of these saws, another thing that is a real pain in the butt is, I'll bring you in close real quick. See that fuel line? Well, when you put that carb in here, it's going to be like that. It's going to be kinked. I mean, it is about 90. One thing I found to do, which I think the factory fuel line was molded, is get you a spring out of like a big pin, run it up in that fuel line, and it'll help try to keep it from kinking as bad. Instead of kinking down real far, it'll keep it just a little bit spaced out, and it seems to work fairly well. So let me get this gasket back on. This time I'm going to use some grease on it so it'll actually come off and on again. Last time I didn't, and you seen what happened. Mind these inserts, just pain in the butt. I mean, they're good for keeping it centered, keeping your bolt holes tight, but man, they're kind of a pain in the butt. Just want to punch through them, but eventually, I'm just gonna take my drill bit, ring them out just a little bit around. Should be more than plenty. That should do it. I said just trial and error, folks. I ain't claiming to be the end all know all on all these Macs and whatnot. I just try it, see it, try it again, see it again. That's all I do. Just like that, one will line up fairly well. It ain't perfect. Throw these 2 screws in here real quick, or these 2 bolts. I think I actually popped my, just a touch off. So let me see. Yep, I'll have to move it over just a touch. So, actually, you might be able to do this center punch without making too big of a mess. Yep. Perfect. I said I had to move it over just a touch. It was just a touch off. And that's some things you'll run in with trying to make your own gaskets. It ain't gonna be perfect. We all make mistakes. I make more than most. But I try to do the best I can. Man, that's all you can do. what's it called, so I can get that. Shouldn't have done that. That was a little bit ignorant of me. There we go. But it was stuck in the impulse hole. Alright, let me grab some grease for this gasket real quick, and I'll be right back with you. And we'll get this guy set up ready to go. So I just wanted to come off easier next time. It did not like to that time, I'd say that much. You ain't got to put a whole lot on it neither. Just want to, just a thin coat. Because if not, it could go down in your saw, especially these reed saws, or through your impulse. Make sure your impulse is clean. Yeah, plug up your impulse. I'm going to do it exactly how I did last time, like so. I mean, you could take the time, make sure it's 100%. That's what I'll probably do. I'm probably going to throw these screws down. Take that razor blade and do a little more fine tuning on this gasket. The throttle bore on this carb's just a touch bigger. So let me grab that. I'll show you what I mean. Careful. Shave a little bit off the sides of these. I mean, just a touch. You don't want to take much. Just where you're overlapping your throttle hole. That should give me a pretty good idea. Before I need to open this sucker up. Oh, wax paper. That's what I'm thinking of. This side's a little bit on the waxy side, so that's the word I was trying to think of earlier. Let's clean this gasket up just a touch more. Yes, I know I may be a little kooky making my own gaskets. You say, why don't you just buy your own? Well, sometimes these saws, you don't necessarily can buy them. You can't necessarily, sometimes you necessarily can't buy them, so I'm gonna leave that around that impulse. I'll cut her right there. Come around here. Cut this side open just a touch more. Man, I ain't doing much, just trying to make it fit the throttle board a little better. Just fine tuning. There we go. Should fit just a touch better. There we go. Just, I don't want to have too much restriction on it. Get a little bit more at the top here. Come around like that. A little bit more. Really need to get me a piece of, what's it called, do this on. piece of glass, it'd work very well. Alright, that should be good enough. I don't want to keep this video running and running and running because it's getting pretty late. I got work in the morning. And got to get a little shut eye too. Yeah, I can live with that. I can live with that. Run these screws down. We'll get y'all on out of here. I gotta make sure don't leave enough room for these nuts on this back side. This was not one of my favorite designs by a saw manufacturer, but these saws do run hard and run good. They just kind of carpet, a little bugger to work on. Come on now. It's being a little tight. And sometimes you ain't got enough hands. But dang sure don't put your box in on that side, because that's not fun. That's not fun. I'll tell you that from experience. Yeah, you can be like, yeah, Nick, you're kind of stupid on that, and you best bet I was. I should have enough to seal. Got a little close to that impulse, but I think it should seal up fine. I hate getting these things started. I said, if you can get your gasket off in one piece, you don't have to do this. That time I did not, but that was when I first started making my own gaskets, so I didn't think to put a little grease on them, make them a little easier on myself. Run that one all the way back, that way we can get it over slots. Alright, now it's fun putting it back together. Make sure we can do all this again. It was a little tricky last time. Especially with this choke lever now being a part of the plan. I do that, come down like that, get that over it. There we go. Come on now. Oh, play nice. Come on. There we go. There we go. Make sure your gasket's good. Good. Good deal. Nail nuts pliers. I'll go ahead and put that fuel line on while I can. See, it's really 10-to-1 when I put that other motor in here. I'm going to probably gonna switch the tanks on it, just because that one's got a like a 10 series. It's got one of those fuel lines that run down with a filter, where this one's like one of them old weak filters. Oh, that works perfect. That is great. That is absolutely awesome. All right. Sure we got full throttle. Yep. Can't get better than that. Not get better than that. All right. Wrap this bad boy up. I'm probably gonna call it a night after this. I'm gonna run these I said, if you ain't got those black pieces, they're basically bolt spacers, so you can use a smaller bolt. It's a little bit easier to do this process because they ain't in the way, but just gonna run the carb, these nuts down, hold them on the back side with this. Well, gonna have to go open with it. I'm gonna take these and tighten the bolts down. So when starting this before, I just had to close the choke and it would stay closed. Really wouldn't have to do nothing more with it. Make sure I might loosen that one back up just a touch. Just want to make sure get this sucker all the way down there. Sometimes it can be a pain in the butt. Get it all the way sitting where it needs to be. Typically. This one's always fun. This side's the worst of it, to be honest with you. You're just gonna have to hold it with this one. Do it from this side. I said this side is not the fun side. Of course, and I would do it the wrong way. Yep. Shave. Probably gonna shave this part right here. That way I can get a little bit better access to it. I end up doing. Go, we'll try to tighten it that way for a second and see if we can get any better luck out of it. I don't think we are, but that's it. This one. This is not the fun side by any means. Finish tightening this one back up. And I'm gonna hold the choke. See if she's drawing fuel. Just real quick. Let's see. Works like a charm. I don't know how well y'all be able to see that, but working choke now. She goes pretty well. Full choke. Might have to work just a touch. I don't know if it's got enough spring to go fully open, but we can get pretty darn close. I believe she's pulling fuel. If there's a better way to run these carbs. I believe she's getting fuel. Now I'll probably try to run her out tomorrow. She's almost, she ain't quite. Right there. May have to put a little kink in that just to get it far enough back. where she'll go full. Because when you pull it, still not quite. I'd rather it not go full choke, but be able to stay fully open. So let me try to kink this just a touch. Ooh, that might have been too much. No, she's definitely going full throttle now. Let's pull a little bit of that kink back out, just a touch. It's got a full choke. And open throttle right there. Yeah, that's all of her. Man, I don't think we're gonna get much better than that. We'll be able to bend this throttle arm just a touch more back. Or choke arm. I'd say that's got her. Full choke. That's got her. I don't know. It's fairly late, but we'll pop her for a few, 1 or 2 times, just see. Heard her there. She was running. Alright guys, hope y'all enjoyed the video. I'll catch y'all later. Hope y'all have a great week.